Welcome back to Boys and Ghouls Film Review, folks. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson, and this is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi, guys.
So tonight we are doing a triple whammy for all of you.
Yeah, we did. We sat down there at a movie marathon the other night. We watched House of a Thousand Corpses, followed by The Devil's Rejects, and lastly but not leastly, Three from Hell.
In other words, the Firefly Trilogy.
Done by your friend and ours, Rob Zombie.
Exactly.
Whoopee, hooray.
And as you guys know, I think this is his debut film.
Actually,
or
I
his
think
first
House
one
of
was
Corpses
his
was
debut
his
film.
first go at being a director.
Yes,
And it made money.
It made money, and at first some people would have stuck their nose up and say, oh, it's not really that good, but then it became a cult favourite to a lot of fans out there, and it kind of gave a boost in his music career.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no.
Because in the first movie, it had some of his music tracks in it, obviously.
Well, yeah, he did do some Rob Zombie tracks.
Yeah.
Of course, in the soundtrack.
Of course, in the other two movies, they would often have different soundtracks from different sets of artists and stuff.
Yeah, a bit more of a country feel.
Country
yeah.
and a
well,
bit
let's face the last one had Leonard Skinner and other people like that. And, well, why not? Yeah.
So he's willing to share the stage with those guys. And I do like the fact that in this one, it has a mixture of different filmmaking styles about it. Like there are snippets of one-on-one interviews with the butterfly. I mean the dragonfly. I mean Firefly family that sound creepy, sinister, and just plain old weird and creepy.
And the cookie, mysterious.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I guess, as you guys know, Rob Zombie is a big fan of the Munsters, and he did his movie on
2022, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen it
I'll
either.
have to check into it.
I keep thinking that he was probably too much in the fandom for that for that period, and for a long time, it's pretty much what he loved. He liked the TV series, probably the movie, and he's liked anything that's dark and creepy, including his wife. Sorry, guys. As you well know, she's been in a lot of his movies.
I think she is his leading lady in life and in films. There you go. Leave it alone.
Anyway, so let's get down to who stars and probably produces the thing.
All the usual stuff.
We're going
to do it in 3 bits. So I'd like to say I'll do House of the Corpses, and then when we change over to the next one, I'll stop and mention the producers and whatever and money and stuff. Here we go, because most of the actors, two of the main actors are in the 3 movies.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, but that's I'll get into that later. Okay, now produced by Andy Gould, written by Rob Zombie, directed by Rob Zombie, starring he wasn't in it. I'll get back to the stars in a minute. Now here we go. Budget $7 million, box office almost 17 million. So it made money. Not bad for a first go at it. So you got to pat the guy on the back. Whether you like Rob Zombie or not, he gave it a good shot. Okay?
Yes,
so now here we go. The cast, if you will. Sid Haig plays Captain Spaulding.
He's my favourite character in this.
And he's dressed up as a clown, clown makeup on anyway. Bill Moseley plays Otis. He's a really nasty dude. In reality, he's probably a really nice guy.
He's probably a nice guy.
But in this movie, he's a pretty nasty guy, yeah. Sherry Moon, Zombie, plays Baby, and I believe that is Captain Spaulding. It's an alias anyway. I think that's his daughter.
Yeah.
It's indicated.
Yeah.
I could go through lots of other good groovy things here. Matthew McGrory, McGrory, plays Tiny, their disfigured brother. Well, you heard her disfigured brother. Yeah. Only reason why I mentioned him, he got a bit more of a bit part, but he passed away during the trilogy at the end of the second movie.
Yeah, he did, sadly.
And I think Sid Haig also passed away at a similar time.
Yeah, I imagine when they were filming Free from Hell, they were halfway through filming the thing, and he died, so they kind of killed him off screen by saying he died of lethal injection.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. Because they were in jail, and they were supposed to be coming out, and I think they got into filming, and his part hadn't been quite done, or they refilmed his bits and whatever.
So
and stuff,
they lassoed a new guy in for the final movie to film the trio of characters. So at least we'll get a few more laughs from it.
Is it Otis's little brother, Foxy?
Otis and Baby's brother, or half brother, I think it was.
Yeah, so they drag him into it. Yeah,
and he becomes sort of a new member of their family a little bit.
Anyway. The scene we're doing 3 movies, you want to get it talking about it now?
Sure. So the first movie, it's sort of just like Chainsaw Massacre style. A bunch of young teens who just come into the neighborhood are looking for creepy places in order to write a book about.
They're doing a bit of a road trip.
Like a travel guide.
They're doing a road trip and want to do some stuff. It's supposed to be 1977, so I'm sure we're not on the internet. But they might be going to be about it in a magazine or something or other.
In the open bit, we get a glimmer of a horror host, like a little bit like Elvira or Bobby Gammonster. If you guys know who I'm talking about, it's on YouTube at the moment, so feel free to check it out. Or Dr. Dread. He's always so funny. Anyway, so then we get to Captain Spaulding, the clown who is advertising the best, his gas station that develops good chicken and a bit of some interesting horror spectacular stuff.
Something like somewhere between Ripley's Believe It or Not and a wax museum. It's got lots of groovy stuff in it.
And a special ghost train exhibit where it displays, creepy, realistic horror legends. Like Ed Gein and Dr. Satan.
And the local legend of a guy called Dr. Satan, who was a creepy dude.
I just said that.
I know that, but he became... He steers them in the right direction to go and find the location where it's supposed to be buried, was it? Some tree or something?
Yeah, somehow 4 teenagers, well, not really teenagers, more adults, obviously, and they're told about Dr. Satan and where he was buried, and that's sort of hanged on a tree. I guess he got hanged.
He hung on a tree, and they said, trees down the road and around the corner, turn right, turn left, and you find the tree.
Yes. Captain Spaulding gives them the address.
Oh, no, you're give a mud map.
A mud map of it. Yeah. And then they head off, of course, and along the way, they pick up this hitchhiker who's named Baby, obviously.
That's Mrs. Zombie.
Yes. And she then tells them about that she knows where the tree where Dr. Satan got hanged on.
It's not far from where I live, she says, well.
Yeah, so she takes them to her place where they meet the rest of the family. And here we get a glimmer into their lives. We find out that they kidnapped some cheerleaders who also got curious about the Dr. Satan legend and got curious and went down to where the spot was and got kidnapped.
Yeah.
Off screen.
Yeah. Some of them still alive.
Yeah.
Being used for whatever.
Yes, for gory, torture, and other creepy stuff. Anyway, the group gets welcomed by, let me see, by Baby's mum and Baby's grandfather, I think. Yeah, I think grandfather. And we also meet Tiny and her other brother, who's... I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I didn't go through it.
I mean, it's Life Motors,
the movie is going to be centered around Tom Mosley and Miss Sherry Moon, okay, and Sid Haig. So I don't want to get people too confused. Cast of thousands, okay.
So the group gets entertained, but then they decide to leave, and then they get attacked on the way out into their car by her baby's brothers, and they get dragged back to the house where they get tortured and killed, and hopefully one of them does eventually get killed, or both of them, two other people get killed by Dr. Satan, obviously. And that's not all, folks. The sheriff gets informed by one of the girls' dads, who's in search of his daughter and the group, obviously. And when they do get to the Firefly family's home, he and the deputy and the sheriff, they all get killed. And of course, we move on to the next movie. That's the Devil's Rejects, where I think at this point, the sheriff who gets who is missing, obviously, and presumed dead, and his deputies and his brother go and try to kill
I'll
them.
do the producer directing bits.
Okay, go ahead.
Same actors, so I won't go through those. But this was also produced by Mike Elliott, Andy Gould, Rob Zombie, Michael O'Hoven, Marco Mehitz, based on characters by Rob Zombie, obviously, written by Rob Zombie, obviously, and directed by Rob Zombie, obviously.
Yeah.
The same trio of nasties in there.
Yeah.
Now getting back to the money side of it, the budget's $7 million, and they made a box office of about $21 million, which wasn't too bad.
Yeah, of course. So they did do an acting change where they replaced the baby's mum with someone else, obviously, and the grandfather is no longer in the picture in this series, in this movie, and they do a gunfight with the policeman and the other sheriff, who is a brother to the old one that got killed in the first movie. And of course, they start with a gunfight. One of her brothers gets killed, and baby's mum is taken into police custody. And both Otis and Baby, they quickly make their escape. They contact Baby's father, Captain Spaulding, and tell them where they're heading. And of course, he makes after leaving his current girlfriend's house, he makes his way. Of course, along the way, his car runs out of gas, and he steals another car, scaring the life out of a little kid and his mum. Well, I don't think he killed her. I think she was knocked out conscious.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she's dead, anything like that. But he scares the little kid enough to, for them to make.
No, he assaults her. I think he assaulted her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's not dead. He did threaten the little boy, saying, "I'm going to come back and kill you, murderer," and stuff like that. This scares the little kid senseless, and I can't blame him.
Pants, probably.
Probably. Anyway, soon enough, Baby and Otis, they arrive at a hotel, and there they find some new victims to torture and bully, obviously.
Exactly.
And Otis goes off to, I think, into a car yard where he hopes to get some guns for him and his for Baby and his father, obviously. And he kills the two other men that they abducted, and they died in some creepy ways while Baby's at home.
Did he peel the face off one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. He took the face off for a bit of a trophy, maybe, or artwork,
or Leatherface approach.
Leatherface.
Maybe dear old Rob Zombie likes the Leatherface look.
Maybe likes Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Maybe. Anyway, so Baby eventually kills the two other women using a knife, and the other girl is re-abducted by the group, and she is forced to wear one of the guy's face, and when the maid arrives, she assumes that she was the person responsible, but she eventually runs out screaming, and that woman goes out, that woman who was attacked and tortured by the group, eventually runs out into the highway and
gets run by a truck.
Yeah.
Whoopee. You can sort of see it coming. She was running madly and heading in towards the road, and yep, the car missed her. Now it's driving this dirty great big truck.
Yeah.
Bang! And broke her in half, and they had guts all over the place. It's a good effect. over the top. Quite nice.
Yeah. The group continue on their journey to a friend of theirs, I think, who runs just a whorehouse or whatever they
I'm
call
not
it.
quite sure what it is. It looks like a bit of a theme park, whorehouse, something.
Yeah,
I
think
got
it's
no
it
idea
is.
what it
I
is.
think it is a whorehouse.
Well, I think it's both. Things.
Yeah. Anyway, so meanwhile, what's happening? The sheriff, who's the brother to the dead policeman, is on a revenge path. He kills baby's mother and in the police station or in the prison, and he hires two guys who were also also criminals, of course, and he hires them to go and search for the rest of the Firefly family.
He's having a drink of water. Hi, just talk amongst yourselves a minute. Stop the music.
Eventually, once the group arrives to their friend's place, they have the time of their lives. Drinking, smoking, having fun with the girls. The usual. Anyway, soon enough, our sheriff eventually, gets to the place and he meets the owner and he says that he's going to plan on, killing the killing it. Well, he doesn't kill. He plans on taking them back to their home and disposing them that way and torturing them and killing them that way as a bit of tit for tat sort of thing, Anyway, so as a revenge for taking his brother at such a bad time. So anyway, he eventually comes there. He eventually gets Spaulding, Otis, and Baby tries to run away, but luckily enough, she gets eventually taken too. And they soon arrive back at their old home, and there he instigates his own torture methods, like nailing the victims to their chests.
Photographs. He's a staple gun.
Yeah, staple gun.
Here's a photograph of the person you killed. Went staple.
Yeah.
Ew, that'd hurt.
Yeah, Spaulding tries to make sure he gets the victims on his chest because he doesn't want Baby to get hurt. I think, even though they may come off as killers, but I think that
he's a caring man.
They all care about each other, even if they're sick in the head.
Yeah, they're a bit thick, but it's family loyalty, does it?
Yeah. Anyway, eventually, Baby does eventually get free, and then the sheriff, he takes a big gas can and starts,
gasoline.
Oh, actually, I think the sheriff let her loose so she can run off, so he could chase her
and shoot her. Yeah.
And while he doses Otis. Well, he doesn't dose it. He dosed the house
I would have thrown some gasoline on the two guys as well.
Yes, exactly.
But he didn't. He put the gasoline on the floor, on the walls and stuff, different things. Get a knife. You warm his hands and stuff.
Yeah. So he burns the house while he goes chasing after Baby. Of course, Baby runs into their friend, and he offers to help her try to get her away. Unfortunately, he gets killed by this guy, and Baby continues being pursued by this guy, and of course he eventually catches up to her, but luckily enough her brother Tiny, a very tall man, he eventually comes in and saves her and twists the sheriff's head clean off.
Well, it doesn't clean off. He snapped. You grab a head and they do a twist, and you snap the neck. Well, he did that, but the thing is, then Tiny.
He goes inside the house to save Otis and Captain Spaulding,
implying that he was going to commit suicide.
Yeah,
because he's sick of being a monstrous-looking cretin in his sky, and it's sad. He was a nice fellow. Yeah.
Anyway, the rest of the group get into their friend's car, and while they thought they might take Tiny with them, but Tiny wants to stay. So they drive off, and Tiny heads back inside the house, and it begins to crumble and burn all around him, and I guess he dies. Then later on, the group is driving down the windy road, and you see a police blockade blocking their way. So instead of giving up, they do the Bonnie and Clyde approach.
That's what I call it. I mean, but the three of them, Baby and Spaulding and Otis,
Why is it Otis?
are driving. They're driving somewhere and they find a police blockade on the road, and they're sort of surrounded. You know, Bonnie and Clyde movie with. Oh, crikey, a mental block now.
Don't worry. I mean, I know exactly what happens.
What's Who's This and Who's McGliggits. That one where the big shoot scene where they get all the sheriffs and deputies and stuff would just open fire on them.
Yep.
Same sort of deal here.
Yeah.
And everybody had bullets flying through them. They getting hit. You know what the funny part is?
What?
The three of them survived. Mm-hmm. They had a lot of bullets in them, and they took them to hospital.
Yes.
And they got them mended.
Yes, and this brings us to our final movie, Free from Hell. So that means get to your
Well, what was I going to say just here? That
Well, there's nothing to add since we just moved on from that movie. And here in the next movie, obviously, they were still alive, obviously.
Well, sort of, that was implied the three of them survived, Okay. Free from Hell. Let's say produced by Mike Elliott, Rob Zombie, and Tony Ciulla. 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 I know, whatever. Written by Rob Zombie and directed by Rob Zombie, and the same
cast.
Well, it was sort of Sherry Moon Zombie and Bill Moseley are in it, but Richard Brake takes over from Sid Haig because Sid Haig sort of passed away right at the beginning of this movie. It's had to replace him, so they put him in there to be the third cretin. There you go.
Yeah, well, you can't make a new actor and call him Captain Spaulding. And
no, but however, I will go down here. Danny Trejo is got a part in it, a small part, but I like him. He always plays a good, nasty guy. So I won't talk about all the people. There's quite a few people here.
Yeah. So anyway, at this point, they've been shot up big time, and they're taken to hospital, and they eventually, after they got fixed up, they are placed into court, and pretty much they're guilty of.
They all go to jail.
Yeah, they go to all to jail, and of course, Captain Spaulding, for his crimes, he was given lethal injection and dies, obviously, off screen. I don't think it was meant to, but that
was a way to write him out of the story.
Yeah, it was better than just replacing him with a new actor and calling him Captain Spaulding for the audience. I read somewhere that Sid and Rob Zombie, they were the best of friends and throughout their lives and stuff like that. So it is nice to gesture that. I almost wish they could have put a dedication to Sid at the end of this movie, but it didn't appear. So I'm sad to say that's it for him.
But
anyway, it's nice to see Bill Moseley back again, and Rob Zombie's wife again.
Yeah, Sherry Moon, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, irrespective. They all go to jail. It's supposed to be life sentences.
Yeah.
Lots of life sentences, mind you. Yeah. Concurrent ones, not end to end, whatever,
So that means no parole.
End to end, no parole. You live in jail for 400 years. So.
And usually, sometimes, if it's a life sentence, you have to live out as long as their past victims lived.
There's going to be a life sentence for about 400, 500 years. A life sentence for each person they killed.
Yeah.
So what happens is Otis is working on a chain gang. And this is where his brother gets introduced. Take it away, Grizzly.
He eventually saves his brother, and we see it in a bit of a found footage kind of style where some found footage was found, and there we see Otis and his brother shooting out the prisoners and the
guards,
and then they escape, obviously, eventually.
Yeah.
And then we cross over to Baby, who's being assaulted by the lead guard and her people, and even tried to have her, attacked by some other inmates. But unfortunately, they don't know Baby really well because she's a real killer.
So she ended up having a big fight with them and killed them. Yes, and when she was wanting parole, ain't gonna have it,
So soon enough, Otis and his brother, they head to the attorney, and the guy who's in charge of parole, their house, and they want them to help get baby out of prison.
Yeah.
So they also say, Otis gives her a note to tell her not to go on a killing spree.
Don't hurt the guy.
Yeah. Of course, it goes pear-shaped.
No, it goes good. She gets out.
She does get out, but she kills the lead guard. And then once they get back to their house, they kill them anyway.
The attorney and his friend and the two wives are all being held there, and they all got killed.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to leave any witnesses, do you?
Yeah, even though they promised not to hurt them, even though that was ages ago. Anyway, soon enough, the group, they are vigilantes, and they go on the run, obviously, again. And, of course, they need to find a place to hide, or at least try to get away.
They go to Mexico.
Yes. Of course.
A little unknown country town, not the main town, not the main cities, but some little backwash. And I think I recognise the church.
Mm-hmm. I think it's been used several times in
old
Western
spaghetti westerns.
Movies.
That's all. Yeah,
here and there.
Old westerns. Yeah.
Anyway, so it's been reused over and over again. So it's probably a real place, from what I understand. Anyway, so they head.
Film set.
Yeah. Well, maybe or maybe not. I mean, there's a chance that it might be a real location.
It could be a real location of an old building.
And has been
used a lot.
Anyway, so they arrive in Mexico, and so you guys know, this would mean that the police would not touch them.
Well,
not there
well,
anyway.
No, the point they weren't. The police probably could touch them if they wanted to. Maybe they got special extradition orders and whatever. But the thing is, they weren't being broadcast on the local news services in Mexico, and the Mexicans had no reason to arrest them.
No.
You see, so they didn't do anything wrong in their country. So,
They soon make their way to a hotel or motel there, and this is taking place during the Day of the Dead celebration. Sort of like a...
Yeah, I think a lot of people know that they're having a nice celebration. People done up a bit like Halloween. You got the makeup on and stuff, and drinking a lot, having lots, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
And anyway, they get to celebrate and have fun with local girls, and of course, Baby gets along with the little dwarf assistant to the guy who's the owner of the hotel. Obviously, they're staying at. They can actually get along in a nice, not so creepy or gory kind of way, unlike her other victims where she teased and molested and bullied them.
See, the point is, her brother who had passed away, Tiny, he was a bit of a monstrous-looking guy, and this guy that she befriended here was a dwarf. He didn't look great, and she thought, well, he's sort of replacement for her brother in some ways.
Yeah, she kind of likes him.
So she liked him. Yeah.
Anyway, he also is a bit of a drawer. He drew a picture of her very artistically. She wears this interesting Indian headdress thing that was really cool on her.
Headdress.
Kind of suited
her. And a bow and arrow, that set, a real one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, eventually these the hotel owner, he kind of phones into a devil mafia group, I think. I'm not sure.
There was a local hood who had a group of guys.
Yes.
They used to use balaclavas over the faces there, and they did some sort of devil group, as he said.
Yeah.
But not the devil, that was just a master, people wouldn't recognise them. But the guy who's the leader is the brother or the son of...
son, I think.
The guy that Otis killed or Spaulding killed?
I think Otis and his brother killed when they were on the what was it? The gang chain thingy you mentioned.
Yeah. He killed his brother.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get... Oh, no, it's Danny Trejo. Yeah, Danny Trejo, he was on the chain gang, yeah.
Yeah.
Danny Trejo was on the same chain gang. He got
Yes.
killed when Otis was being
Yes.
sprung. So,
Yeah, see,
they want to
in
get
the
revenge,
first
don't they?
one, I mean, not the first one, the Devil's Rejects one, that one, he appeared as sort of an informer to the new sheriff, and this one, I guess,
No, he might have still been a
criminal
informer,
activities.
He was in jail.
He is in jail for his criminal involvements.
Being naughty boy.
Anyway, so now his son wants to take revenge on the remaining members of the Firefly family, obviously. So he comes there with his cahoots or whatever, and they make plans of hunting them down and taking their revenge his revenge, obviously. Of
Bang,
course,
bang, gone.
we do a shootout, but soon enough they catch them, and they soon enough make plans on killing them. Of course, Otis is a no-show, and he's about to kill Baby and his brother, but he appears with a machine gun. They kind of carry machine guns, obviously, the big stuff. And he tries to get them to release his brother and sister, but unfortunately, Baby has a big mouth.
Yeah, well.
So the guy sets a challenge using machetes, no less. Is that right? Machetes?
Yeah, they had machetes.
Yeah.
They had a machete fight.
Yeah. So they're going to fight to the death, I think that's it. So they fight, and all the time this is happening, the little dwarf friend of Baby's kind of unties the rest of the group. Of course, while he's untying them, her brother eventually tackles one of the guys and tries to grab the gun off him. But then he starts shooting the gun in different directions and soon enough kills the little dwarfer guy, obviously. And then eventually they beat the guy, the head guy in charge, and they put him in the coffin. Here, Otis pours gasoline all over him. You see, he does a better job doing the gasoline than the other guy does.
He certainly does.
And they light a match, or a set of matches. It was in one of those matchbook things.
Yeah, a matchbook. You just you get one lighter and you light all the other ones, so it goes up really, really nice.
And he throws it in, and we get this huge fire thing. Woof. And that's the
Smells
end.
like chicken.
Yes. And our three group members, they head off, while a little dog with 3 legs follows after them. I imagine.
Oh, it's so cute.
It's so adorable.
I want to look after him.
Then the movie ends.
Oh, wait a minute. They walk off into the town, and then they get in the car, and they're back on the road again like they did at the beginning of the movie.
Yes,
Yeah,
they did.
so it went full circle.
Yes. And that's the last movie.
Oh,
and that's...
yeah. I didn't talk about the budget of this one. I was rushed a bit earlier
sorry.
on. The budget was $3 million. They made about $2 million. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad movie, just that maybe people were just getting sick of the Unholy Trio.
They probably thought that
Yeah.
the Devil's Rejects was the last one because they all got shot up, and there's no way so many bullets could not survive that.
So
they probably thought they were immortal, or just it's impossible. How can you make another movie and stuff like that?
well, they got better.
Anyway, I don't have a grudge against the movies. I thought it was nice that
The point is,
it was.
I was going to say that Rob Zombie. I'm not nothing against Rob Zombie here, okay?
Me neither.
But you can't say that these were A films, okay?
No,
Right.
not meant to.
However, these are also black comedies, so there's a bit of liberties taken here and there and other things, and so I'm not saying it hasn't been taken seriously, but it's light-hearted horror, and he's made it that way. So he's probably achieved what he set out to do, and that's all any filmmaker can do. There you go.
Yeah.
So, and having said that, I suppose really you can't ask for anything more from a guy. That's my vision. This is what I want to do, and he did it.
Yeah.
There you go.
One thing that comes to mind, guys, is when I first watched The House of 1,000 Corpses, I thought this would be...
We counted them. There wasn't 1,000 corpses there.
I thought
they lost a couple.
That along the lines that this was going to be a chainsaw from from 1 to 3, obviously. But it turns out to be the two other movies, they kind of had different direction, but in an interesting approach direction.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty much better than the first one, obviously. The first one was too much like the usual stuff like you see in country types horrors, where you get a bunch of college students or young adults who go out in the middle of nowhere, and as they're doing whatever, they get cornered by some nasty hillbillies or creepy mad people, and then things start taking on a drastic or horrible situation.
Yeah.
Of course, this has been done several times in the 70s and the 80s, and I'm kind of glad that when it was revived in this movie, it managed to do some really new things with the other two movies, not just sticking to just a creepy house, but in those two movies, they kind of take it out of that equation and
let's take the horror on the road. Hey.
Exactly. Yeah. A little bit of I like that kind of the idea that was going on in Rob Zombie's head. You know, taking the it away from just their hometown to a new direction. Obviously.
Exactly.
Anyway, so I think all of them are pretty good.
Do you want to grade them as a whole or individually?
Well, I don't want to end up going over time, so let's just grade them as a whole.
As a whole. Okay, as a trilogy. Mm-hmm. Okay, storyline's not bad, filming's good, acting is passable. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give it 8.5. 8.5 for the trilogy. Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to give it a little bit more higher when I think about this one. I think I like the costuming. I like the locations they shot this in, and the funny comedy lines they come up with are hilarious every time I hear them, and I like the way it was shot or filmed.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
The fact that it went. 1 minute you think you know where you're going to be going in this film, but then when you see it the way it was filmed, it felt like you feel like it's like trick photography. Like 1 minute you think you know where you are going, but the next minute something happens and it takes you by surprise.
Exactly.
So I'm going to rate this 9.5 out of 10 myself.
Mr. Zombie, you got a fan here. Hey.
Well, I like Rob Zombie. I'm not going to be sure yet if I'm going to watch the Monster one yet.
We'll have a look at
Maybe someday in the near future. If without prejudice or judgment, I could probably watch it and see it with a clear brain and try to figure out if it's any as good as the ones in the past, or just.
Well, no, it may be okay.
Or it's just pretty much he's just doing a fan film like most of us are big fans of.
Of course, if you go look at the
creative aspect when I think
the
about
original TV series and the spin-off movies were done. Fred Gwynn played Herman. Mm-hmm. Al Lewis played Grandpa, and Yvonne DiCarlo played Lily, and Lily was supposed to be a mother figure, not a ghoul, not sexy like Morticia Adams. She was supposed to be a mother, and she came over as a gothic mummy who walked around in her coffin linen. The point is that if you're going to bend it and blend it to make it somewhere in between Adam's Family Meets the Munsters, it's not going to really work. But I'm not going to knock it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that maybe that Cassandra Peterson came into it, but there's just an ordinary person in that one. I'm not sure.
Cassandra's not ordinary.
I mean, she's very alternative, like the rest of us. Anyway, so you know our thoughts about the trilogy. Now it's up to you guys to actually go and
where
sit
do you
watch
get
it.
I'll do this one at a time because okay. House of Thousand Corpses. Yes, it's for sale on eBay. Amazon does have it for rent, and it's for sale.
Yes.
Now, being a slightly older one, there is VHS out there, and some listings have it as a 2004 film, not a 2003 film. It's the same film. Now, I think the same sort of goes with the Devil's Rejects. It's for sale in eBay and for sale on Amazon. Yes, there's VHS out there. But you might be able to get a good deal package from Amazon for these two movies. House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects come as a dual movie pack for a reasonable cost. There you go.
Yes.
Now, getting on to the last one, Three from Hell. Actually, I was going to say something about that. This is done about 15 years or 14 years after the Rejects. And I thought, well, they've been in jail for 10 years or so. See, they actually made it real.
True.
Anyway, this one's available on eBay for sale and Amazon for rental for sale. So you can get the 3 titles, but the first 2 you might be able to get in a dual pack. I don't think I saw a 3-pack, but I know I did see a 3-pack sort of. It was a full movie pack. It had these 3 plus other Rob Zombie movies. I think it was about $300-something. Again, well, you get all these movies, but you might not want to see all these movies. Okay, so it's up to you guys. But
they also made a Halloween. A Halloween 1 and 2,
and a couple of other ones.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Oh God, Monstro. Some weird stuff. El Monstro or something, or I can't remember.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, but he's done several movies. But yeah, apart from these. So yeah, if you got the money, buy the film pack and get the $300 pack, and yeah, buy it. You can watch all the Rob Zombie movies. Yeah. Anyway,
it gets better as you watch.
No, it's. He's got a style about him, and you're either going to like it or not like it. I'm on the fence. I'm sort of, I can sit through it, I can enjoy it, and appreciate what he's done with it.
Yeah. I certainly like it when he did the split framing technique.
Oh, yeah, he did a split screen and a tri-screen, triple, wasn't it?
Yes.
3 images one stage?
Yeah, sometimes he would divide up a scene, and you could see one shot of someone doing something else and while another, doing another.
Yeah,
and sometimes I like it when they do a sort of a mirror image,
you do that
a two-way mirror, or not two-way, like going through a whole mirror type approach.
You got half the screen is reflecting the image. Like you're cut in half, but your left hand part of your face is being reflected onto the other side as the right hand, but it's actually a duplicate of your left hand, and you're disappearing into the middle of the frame. That sort of stuff. Yeah, it's really weird.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really groovy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't groovy. It's old words, hey.
Anyway, that's about it from us, guys. Oh, I should mention, guys, for probably our next review, I'm now going to ask Mike here if he thinks he's up to it. Probably next week, we might review Pearl. The sequel to,
X.
or not sequel, it's more of a prequel to X, the X movie we reviewed.
Who did one?
What?
Who did X? Who was in it? Jenna Ortega. Was she in X?
Yeah, she was next, but I don't think she'll be in this one, obviously.
No, but she was in the X movie. I can't remember the other people in it, but she's our favourite little girl. She's up and coming star. She's going really good. But yeah, we watched X because she was in it.
Shame she wasn't playing the main. Shame she wasn't playing the lead characters.
No, but she's easing away into different roles then. She did good, but this is a prequel to that movie.
Yes.
I can't remember who made it though.
It's okay. I mean, once we watch Pearl again, it will come
back.
Flooding back to us. So we'll probably review that next time, guys, on this channel. I'm trying to figure out whether or not to continue this channel, guys.
Actually, here's something.
I've
got an idea. We've got a lot of. Have you got many listeners out there?
Quite a few.
Okay, we were thinking of terminating the podcast soon because we've been doing it for about 4 years now.
Yes, 4
3
years.
Or 4 years.
It's
we've done over 400 reviews now. We're just wondering whether to keep going. If you people are interested in hearing more reviews, and we get enough people interested, we'll consider doing some more. If we don't get too much people coming back, we might just call it a day.
Yeah, because as you guys know, I'm an independent filmmaker,
and we got to make time for that too.
I got to make time for being a filmmaker, and it's a little hard to continue the podcast if I'm always dividing my time between you guys
and podcast, and you're doing Hollywood or Bust, and you're doing something else, and you're trying to do writing and editing, and so
Hollywood Bust, of course, doesn't take up too much of my time as much as Boys and Ghouls Film Review.
The other thing you're doing too, weren't you? Were you doing something else?
I also have another fan review thingy. I haven't done any of that lately because I'm so busy with other things, obviously, like this podcast.
But anyway, come back and tell us if you want to, want us to keep doing it. But if we get enough people saying, keep it going, we'll evaluate it again.
Yeah, because I would like it if you guys would actually, like and subscribe to our channel, because and comment. Please, guys, I won't stress this enough, but please comment on these videos, because it would be appreciated if you like these our podcasts. I mean, here, it'd be nice. Being silent is not the answer.
No, I don't know whether it's worthwhile. So,
it's not saying that we're good or bad. It's just it's pretty much saying, oh, we like you guys, but we're not chatty.
I don't care.
It's just
it's diversion. Whatever. But if you want us to keep going. If we get enough people interested, we'll probably keep going. How's that?
Yes.
We'll have to work things out.
Anyway, so that's about it from us, guys, from this channel. So this is Sarah Stephenson.
And Michael.
Thanks to you guys around on Boys and Ghouls Film Review. Bye for now, and I hope we see you guys for our next episode, whenever that may be. Bye for now.
See you guys.